Greetings, M squared here. Today we're going to take some linear equations that are not in slope-intercept form and change them to slope-intercept form. So let's remember, slope-intercept form is when y is all alone, and then we have x times some number, which is our slope, plus another number or minus another number, and that's our y-intercept. So that's why we call it slope-intercept form, because when you look at the equation, when y is alone, the slope sits in front of x, and the b, or the y-intercept, is the number added or subtracted from that linear term right there. Okay, so first we just look at it. Is y alone? No, that's what our goal is, to get y alone. So if you want to get y alone, we've got to remove this 8x from the left side, take it to the right side, and then we've got to take care of that -3 so that y is alone. It's important that you understand what's happening. That -3 or -3 is being multiplied by y. This is being added to that. So we have to take care of them differently. If something's being added, we remove it by subtracting it. So we take it away from the left side by subtracting 8x, because 8x minus 8x is 0. And then we take it away from the right side. So I'm going to write down the -3y, because that's what's left over here. And then I'm going to pay attention to this. That's a 9. That's a -8x. Those aren't like terms, so I can't combine them. And because slope-intercept form has an x before the number, I'm going to write down that -8x before I write down the 9. My last step then is to just remove this -3, and I do that by doing the opposite of what's happening again. So since multiplication is happening, I'm going to divide. And when I divide, I need to divide by each term. The -3 divided by -3 is actually 1, and 1 times y is just y. I have a -8x and a -3. So although 3 doesn't go into 8, there's nothing to reduce that. The two negatives, a negative divided by negative, makes it a positive. So I get 8/3 x, and then 9 divided by -3 is -3. So this is the equation in slope-intercept form. It's the same equation. If you put that in a graphing calculator or this in a graphing calculator, you're going to get the same line, but it's important to be able to know how to get it into slope-intercept form, because really that's the easiest way to graph it if you're doing it by hand. All right, next one. Now this is in point slope form. We're going to change it to slope-intercept form. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of my parentheses, because I can't do anything to that 2. I can't add to it or subtract. I can't do that until I first figure out what this actually is. So the 2 means I have 2x plus 4s, which means I have 2 x's and 2 4s, which gives me an 8. Now, on this side, y is almost alone. I need to add 3, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And when I do it again, I can only add it to what it's like. It's like the 8. It's not like the 2x. So my final answer in slope-intercept form would be y equals 2x plus 11. Okay, we have a few more examples. So this one again is in standard form. This one's in point slope form. So we're just getting used to taking one form and putting it into the other. So I'm going to remove my x. So when it's in standard form, when you have x and y on one side, the first step, it's a really good idea to just move the x. So you're going to do the opposite. If that was a -3x, I would have added 3x. So that cancels out. That's a 0, and 0 plus 2y is 2y. And then I'm going to put the x first. Those aren't combinable because they're not like terms. Now I just need to get rid of this coefficient of 2. It's being multiplied by y, so in order to get y alone, I'm going to divide by 2, because 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 times y is just y. I'm going to, there's nothing to reduce here. 2 doesn't go into 3. There's nothing that I can reduce that fraction-wise. Those are both prime numbers, but I do have a negative. Have to leave it, because there aren't 2 negatives, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So there's my slope-intercept form for that one. Okay, remember what the first step is over here? You're going to get rid of your parentheses. You're going to distribute. So y plus 1 equals 1/2 times x, because 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. And then 1/2 of 14 is 7. And then I just need to remove this 1. Since it's a plus 1, I'm going to subtract 1, because that'll get me a 0, and 0 plus y is y, and I'm trying to get y alone. And then I have that. And if you're in my class, you're going to do the last 2 on your own, but I just wanted to go over that in case you needed to know. Good luck, M squared, signing out.